Good morning, church. Welcome to the musing for November 20th. It is my hope that you're looking forward to Thanksgiving Day this coming Thursday and that you will be with family and friends, enjoying food and fellowship and football. Those are good things. They can help to make us happy, and happy is a good thing. We all want to be happy. I'm sure the Apostle Paul wanted his life to be happy. But I don't think he got that. You see, Paul was lied about, beaten, threatened, imprisoned, stoned, and left for dead, flogged 5 times, murderously attacked by mobs. He was shipwrecked on 3 occasions, often hungry. He was even snake bitten. And that's just the stuff we read about in the book of Acts. Now, on top of all that, Paul was afflicted with some kind of chronic condition that he called his thorn in the flesh. Not a lot to be happy about there. And yet, 15 times in his letters, he uses the word rejoice. He exhorts his readers to rejoice, and he speaks of his own rejoicing. Friends, by all rights, this man should have been bitter and resentful, and he wasn't. He was joyful. Now, Paul could not have been particularly happy about the events in his life, how that was all progressing, but he was joyful. There's a profound difference between happiness and joy. Let me give you an analogy. I'll describe the difference between fear and worry. We say things like, I'm afraid of what might happen, but no, you're not. You're worried about what might happen. Fear is immediate and visceral. You fear what is happening at the moment. Worry is detached and cerebral. You worry about what is not happening at the moment, but which might happen in the future. For example, you need to climb up high on a ladder. Now, standing on the ground, you worry that you might fall. But you're not afraid. Your heart rate doesn't jump up. There's no rush of adrenaline. But when you're way up in the air and you feel yourself losing your balance, that's when you feel fear. The flooding of your system with adrenaline and endorphins, the panicky movements, the involuntary scream. That's fear. Fear is not easily controlled. It tends to take over. Happiness and joy follow a similar pattern. Happiness is a function of the events in your life. It is dependent upon what happens, hence the name. If good stuff happens, you're happy. If bad stuff happens, you're not happy. Happiness is sort of like fear in that way. It is of the moment. Joy is different. Joy is a gift from God. Joy is rooted not in events, but in God's love and grace. Those don't change day to day. They are eternal and reliable. Therefore, joy is beyond the reach of events. And just as you can be worried and yet not fearful, you can be joyful and yet not happy. And I have to think that's largely what Paul experienced. God gave him joy. Joy in the knowledge of his salvation. Joy in his relationship with Christ Jesus. Joy in the certainty of his eternity. Events in Paul's life couldn't touch any of that. Friends, we can each have that same joy, regardless of our difficult situations, our failing health, our shaky financing, or our fractured personal connections. Circumstances of our lives cannot touch the joy that God can give us. Happiness depends upon events. Joy depends upon God. Choose wisely. And God bless you all. And have a joyful Thanksgiving.